What makes a place truly evil? The Overlook Hotel, the centerpiece of Stephen King's The Shining, isn't just a setting, it's a living, breathing character of horror. But here's the question. What inspired King to create such a malevolent masterpiece? When Stephen King first envisioned The Shining, he wasn't conjuring terror out of thin air. In 1974, King and his wife Tabitha stayed at the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado. The massive, isolated structure was closing for the season, leaving them as the only guests. That night, King wandered the empty hallways, his imagination running wild. A ghostly party in the ballroom, eerie whispers from nowhere, and a vivid dream about his son being chased down endless corridors. All of these would later shape The Shining. But why does the Overlook feel so alive? Here's the hook. King took his fears of addiction and failure, mixing them with the haunting history of isolation. The Overlook isn't just haunted by ghosts, it's a mirror for the darkest corners of the human psyche. Let's talk about Jack Torrance. At first glance, he's a struggling writer and a family man. But as winter descends on the Overlook, Jack's cracks begin to show. The hotel seems to prey on his weaknesses, his alcoholism, his anger, his desire to succeed at all costs. Every whisper and apparition feels tailor-made to push Jack over the edge. And that's where the Overlook's genius lies. It doesn't just haunt, it corrupts. One of the most chilling aspects of the Overlook is its history. Did you catch how its bloody past parallels Jack's descent into madness? From the mafia-style murders to the tragic suicide of a former caretaker, the hotel feels cursed. And here's the creepiest part. King has hinted that the Overlook isn't just a haunted building, it's a sentient force, feeding on the fear and suffering of its victims. But let's get deeper. The Overlook's layout itself feels like a trap. The endless hallways, shifting rooms, and the impossibility of escape mirror the labyrinth in Greek mythology. Jack becomes Theseus, lost in the maze, but there's no Ariadne's thread to guide him out. The hedge maze introduced in Kubrick's adaptation, a perfect visual metaphor for this endless, inescapable nightmare. And speaking of Stanley Kubrick's film, did you notice the differences? While King's novel dives into the psychological torment and familial bonds, Kubrick's version amplifies the supernatural elements. Jack Nicholson's performance as Jack Torrance? Iconic, yes, but it leans heavily into the idea that Jack was always destined to lose himself in madness. Still, the novel and the movie share a haunting similarity. They remind us that evil isn't always external. Sometimes it's already inside us, waiting for the right place or the right force to bring it out. Now here's a question for you. Is the Overlook truly evil, or is it just amplifying what's already there? Let's not forget about Danny. His shining ability makes him a beacon in the Overlook's darkness, but it also makes him a target. The ghostly Grady twins, the woman in room 237, and the visions of blood flooding the elevators, they all seem drawn to Danny's light. His gift saves him, but it also puts his entire family in danger. And what about the Overlook's ultimate fate? In King's novel, the hotel burns to the ground, consumed by the very boiler Jack was tasked with maintaining. In Kubrick's film, the hotel endures, its secrets and horrors intact. Two endings, but one chilling takeaway. Some places are so evil, they never truly die. So why does The Shining still haunt us decades later? It's more than just a ghost story. It's a tale of isolation, addiction, and the fragility of the human mind. The Overlook Hotel isn't just a setting. It's a reflection of our fears, our weaknesses, and our darkest desires. If you've made it this far, here's your mission. Don't just watch The Shining. Read the book, explore the history of the Stanley Hotel, and ask yourself, what would the Overlook reveal about you? Before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into horror stories, twisted tales, and everything spine-chilling. Who knows what dark corners we'll explore next?